If you are back, God bless you. Peace and blessings for coming back to the channel and watching me. Again, today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to build packages for your wedding photography or your videography. This to me is something that is incredibly important. It's really easy to just, throw some packages together based on hours prices or whatever and just throw it out into the world and see what happens. But this to me can really give you an upper hand against other photographers or videographers whenever couples start shopping. I say this all the time, that this is the most important day of a couple's life, and how you are perceived to them whenever they receive your pricing information is going to go a long way to whether or not they actually book you. So how do you put together effective packages that are going to stand out from the crowd? This is something that me and Cameron, my business partner, thought long and hard about whenever we started to overhaul our business model. We deliberated over it and we still talk about it a lot, but we found a formula that really, really works for us. And it has kind of changed our business for the better. And I think that it can do the same for you. So let's get into it a little bit. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet, and hopefully you can take a little bit from this. First, I want to talk about common mistakes. Whenever you start out in your photography or videography journey, it's easy to get caught up in doing it like everybody else, doing it based on what you have seen. The number one most common mistake that I see is generic package names. If you just call your packages package 1, package 2, package 3, which I did for the first 2 years of my business, that stuff gets lost in the shuffle, and you have couples starting to look, well, what is the difference between 1 and 2 and blah, 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 and this and that. And it just doesn't show a level of creativity, and it doesn't make each package stand out. They really have to kind of go through each package like bullet by bullet to see if they're getting better value out of package 2 or so on and so forth. The second one is building your package around hours. Yeah, your packages should probably vary by hour, but that shouldn't be the sole thing that those packages are based on. I think every other photographer in the world, especially every other mid-tier photographer, does this. They say, I have a 5-hour package, a 6-hour package, a 7-hour package, an 8-hour package, and then like the platinum package, which is like 10 hours of coverage. Like, that's cool and that works for some people. It really does. But if you're doing that too, and a couple collects 10 different pricing sheets from 10 different photographers as they're trying to make the decision, what's going to make your package stand out? And honestly, the third common mistake, and this seems, I don't know if really counterintuitive is the word, but it seems strange, but the other common mistake that I see from a lot of people is building packages solely around prices. If you have 3 packages, for instance, and you start with, I'm just going to use generic numbers, and package number 1 is $1,000, and package number 2 is $2,000, and package number 3 is $3,000. More often than not, you're going to book, $1,000 and $2,000 packages, because that's kind of, you're solely basing those packages off of pricing. Let's talk a little bit how to fix those common mistakes. First things first, you have to identify your USPs. These are unique selling propositions. What makes you you? What makes you stand out from every other photographer or videographer in the industry? For us, our main USP is that we are a photo and video team. We believe in the power of having a photo and video team on your wedding day for a multitude of reasons, but the main ones being is that we know how each other works, and we know that the styles are going to match up. And I think it's really important. So a little bit of backstory, I started out my business as a videographer for the first 5 years. And the nature of being a videographer is that sometimes you get booked 4 or 5 months out. Sometimes it's, a year out, and sometimes it's 2 months out. And so, the target of being able to plan out your year is kind of this moving target. But I knew that, I was being recommended by a lot of people. And so I think it made sense for me to try to find a photographer to come on and be a photo and video team. And Cameron was, one of my closest friends. And I knew that she was really great at what she did, and she recommended me a ton, and I recommended her a ton, and it just made sense for us to be a team. And now we were able to change that that booking system from being anywhere from 2 to 12 months to being, anywhere from 10 to 18 months out in the future. So we're really able to plan what we're doing, and it's really kind of changed the mode of our business. The other USP for us is that we shoot film. That's an identifying factor for us. Nowadays, couples are looking for film photographers, and it's in our marketing materials. It's really easy to figure out what we do as a team. We shoot film, we shoot digital, we shoot Super 8, and those are USPs. Those are unique selling propositions. And so what you need to do is figure out what is unique about you, identify that first, and then we can start to build the packages around that. For us, we decided to move away from the gold, silver, platinum package thing built around hours and prices and all that kind of stuff. And we built our packages around what we think we do well. What are the things that inspire us? Because it's really easy to get lost in the shuffle or get caught in the monotony of just shooting wedding after wedding after wedding if you don't have any kind of inspiration to shoot. And so now we're at a place in our business where we're getting to shoot beautiful locations with really awesome couples, and that inspires us. But it inspires because we get to do the work that we like to do. For us, we do have a generic traditional American wedding package called Classic Hearts Club, and we do see that package booked a lot. But since we've changed, we have 5 different packages, and since we've changed our package details and built them around the things we love to do, we have seen a change in our business. One of the things that we wanted to do in the long haul was shoot film, and it didn't make sense for us to have regular wedding packages and just hope that somebody used film as an add-on. So we built an entire package around film. It's called Is This a Dream? And it gives us the opportunity to align with couples who align with us, and they see the value in what we do, and they're like-minded, and they trust our vision, and it makes for a seamless process all the way around. So I would encourage you to take a look at your unique selling propositions and build your packages around that. Get creative with your names. Get creative with the features you offer. Don't just bump up the price because you're adding an extra hour and you're, delivering a raw cut of the ceremony or whatever. Like, figure out what unique features that are going to be offered in your packages and build your packages around that. One of the things we do that is another unique selling proposition is we give a wedding guide to every couple that books with us. And it's this 90-page document that kind of helps in the planning of your wedding, because, it's easy for us to forget that when we work with couples, this is their one and only wedding experience. And we do this all the time. So we've taken tips and tricks we learned along the way, and we send that out to every couple that we work with. So that is a unique selling proposition. And we make that known in all of our package details. And then from there, they can kind of see what each package offers. We do a film centric package, we do a glam package, we do a traditional wedding package, we do a black and white package. So those are just things that we wanted to get creative with, because it allows us to be creative and allows us to stay inspired. And it makes our stuff stand out from every other photographer and videographer that they're collecting pricing sheets from. So whenever you start to build your packages, a couple questions that you need to start to answer is, what is your overhead? Do you have a second shooter? What are your travel costs? Are you shooting film, and what does that cost? And so on and so forth, because those are all things that are going to go into the pricing of your packages. Don't just set it on autopilot and go and just say, what, $1,000 sounds good, because before you know it, if you do $1,000 package, that $1,000 can get eaten into really quick, especially if you're having to travel 2 hours to a wedding and you're spending it on gas and food, and then you have to hire a second shooter, which is going to cost you anywhere between $300 to $500. That money's going to evaporate really quickly. So as you look into pricing, and I will do a pricing video in the future, but whenever you set out to look at your packages and you start to audit what your packages look like, think about all these different things. Try not to fall into the traditional pitfalls. Figure out what your USPs are, and then figure out what everything is going to cost you as you start to build out the pricing, so you know exactly how you can maximize your profit. These all seem like little things, but I promise you, if you will put some thought into what you're sending out on a pricing sheet or on a package sheet, you're going to get the return back. You'll start to attract the people who think the way that you think. So as you continue to think about these packages, try to take some of this advice and see what works best for you. We've had to do tinkering and playing with a lot over the last year and a half. But once you dial in that system, you're going to know the packages like the back of your hand. And when people start to ask you about them or you do consult calls, it's all going to go off super smooth, and it's going to be a much better client experience in the long run. So hopefully you're able to get a little bit out of this. If you like this content, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.